So welcome to the People's Living Room.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you. I would love for you to start by sharing your name, where you are arriving from today, and where is home for you, whether geographically, whether energetically, any of the above.
My name is Beatriz Abascal. Folks call me Bea. And I am Cuban. I've always felt it, and I think it was because of my relationship with my grandparents.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I know we just had like a really nice moment of sharing and vulnerability and reflection, especially, and you brought so many amazing artifacts. Like, so
I'm almost, well, I was a little bit like, this is too much. I'm bringing too much.
That is never too much. That is never too much.
Okay.
So we're in the installation of the People's Living Room, which is a part of my exhibition In Ernest. And I know the living room for many folks has a lot of meaning. Growing up for you, what was the living room like? What was it like? What did it feel like, sound like? What was it like for you?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely, we had like a living room, dining room with a red carpet because we liked color. Yes. But I do remember sitting at the dining room but having the record player and the music playing so that when it was either a celebratory moment or the holidays, there would be salsa music playing and on a record player, and we would be all dancing. I'm one of 4 siblings, and you know, my oldest sister was born in Cuba.
Yeah.
She's 10 years older than I am. Gotcha. And so we do, one of the things that I was resonating with was like our different lives and how we see our parents.
Yeah.
And so by the time I was born, they were already settled and all of that. But
I could envision what you were saying. Yeah. Let me ask you, because I feel like you've
silliness too, like silliness. Overeating, a lot of cooking, drinking,
maybe some laughter,
a lot of laughter, music, some tears, but you know, a lot of laughter for the most part, and I think a lot of inquiry, but not a lot of answers. So,
thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
there's a lot of resonance there for me.
Yeah.
Can you share, and maybe this is remnants of what we were talking about before, but can you share a memory or a story of your grandparents or grandparents that really kind of holds a special place in your heart? Like,
absolutely, I'd love to. My grandfather, so my parents were strict, and I went to college. I grew up in Lawrence, which is about 30 miles north of here, and I used to take the commuter rail to go to college. Yeah. And my grandfather would drive me, and he lived 2 houses over. But he didn't have parking, so he'd park where we lived. And his 1976 Chevy Nova, blue, royal blue, that he used to fix the fender with like duct tape.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, anyways, the way that he was my alarm clock. So the train used to leave at 7:25, I remember. And he used to get to the car, he'd walk over, he'd be there by like 6:50. He was like an early bird, but I was not.
Yeah.
But my bedroom was like, you could see the car from my bedroom. And one morning, I didn't hear him start the car. That was my alarm clock. And he got there and it was like 7:10. And I was like, oh my God. And he's like, beep, 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 you know, back when you could honk the horn and people wouldn't get offended or whatever, but he'd honk the horn and I was like, oh my God, I jumped out, brushed my teeth, got dressed, got my backpack, and he basically drove so fast. I had never seen him drive so fast, and the train was arriving and he was there and he jumps out of the car to be like,
stop.
I mean, the train was stopping, the conductor was getting off, and he basically just made sure that I got on. And so that, and I was like 20 or 19, probably 18, 19, not 20, but 18, 19. And so that's always like how he saved the day. But a reflection on that is that he always used to take my mother to school in Cuba, and so he kind of continued sort of that piece of his role, and so they were also really close too. So
man, I love that. I love the cycle of that, and like the meaning making for him, perhaps around like the duty and the routine of that.
Yes. Well, he used to have a motorcycle in Cuba. That's how he used to get my mother around.
So he was a fast driver.
But here he didn't have a motorcycle because I think there's different rules. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, he used to always. He'd save the day, is what he'd be like sort of the superhero.
Thank you for sharing that. I'll ask one more question.
Okay.
Home for you is?
I think home for me is like this body, and trying to become more and more comfortable in this body, and know that whatever's out there shouldn't be sort of what defines us, but like it should be a really internal experience, I think, and knowing that it's okay to dream, and that it's okay to connect with spirit and with your ancestors, and that for me often feels like home mostly. I think we live in such a it's hard because the conditions that we live under, right? And we don't have full control, but we do have sort of autonomy and agency within ourselves. And so I think all of the ways that other people think about home, like if you own a home, which I don't, so I think about that, or the fact that I have this strong connection to a place that's so close, but yet has been like forbidden fruit in so many ways because of politics, and history, and how this particular country is with everybody else, and always just wants everything, and so I think more like in that realm of like, and that took a long time. But I mean, I'm still working on it, I think
it sounds like a beautiful, complex, but like healthy journey to self-discovery. That's what I'm hearing when you're saying that home is like a coming home to yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And it's a journey. It really is. It's like, I think we were talking about in there, you don't want to be the same person you were 5 or 10 years ago. Hopefully it's going in the direction that you want, right? So, but it takes time, and I think that's the other thing is like, here everything's so conditioned to be so fast, and I'm just like, I'm a Capricorn. I'm ruled by Saturn. I'm like, right. Me too.
Really?
Oh my God.
Wait, did I know this about you?
No.
Did we never spoke about this? That's so crazy. I know only like 5 other people that's born on December 23rd. It's not a common one.
And so what's interesting about my birthday, so my parents' anniversary was the 22nd. Like their wedding anniversary, and my mom was here. I was born in 1968, and there was a huge snowstorm. There was only one Cuban doctor. You want to talk about birth stories? And apparently the Cuban doctor was differently abled.
Got you.
One arm.
Got you.
But delivered me. And so, back in the day, they used to joke about it, like family does. But it's like, my mother was like, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? It's so cold. There was a huge snowstorm. And I lived in Lawrence all the way to Lowell, I think they went. It was the hospital. And then they had this baby. And it's basically like Christmas Eve for like the traditional Cuban Christmas, which is Christmas Eve. And so, anyways, to make a long story short, I can't believe we have the same.
That's crazy.
I'm like, when I meet people that are Capricorns, it's like December or January,
I'm December 23rd.
Me too.
And I found out through my journey that...
what's your rising? Now, do you know?
No idea.
Do you know what time you were born?
I think it's in the morning. I think I was born in the morning. But I was delivered by midwives, and so the story.
Lucky you.
But I didn't know that until I started to like explore my birth story more. She's like, no, actually, the doctor didn't come until after you were here. He delivered my 2 older sisters.
That's beautiful.
And he had, at her last appointment, said to her, tell your daughter, she should, I'm not going to be here because I was due Christmas Day. And he's like, I'm not going to be here. So he's like joking, tell your daughter I won't be, And I came on the 23rd, and midwives delivered me.
I love it.
My mom said she had the best Christmas
I wanted to
dinner.
be a midwife for a little, like, you know, after I had my girls, I did study doula to be a doula for a little while. I haven't done it, but
I train as well, but I'm not practicing.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so
That is so much. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We have the best birthdays. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for bringing your artifacts.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
I feel like I'm a talker, so that's why I'm less like, okay, I need to
this
stop.
is the place to talk. No. This is the place to talk. I feel like it's also the first time I'm doing this as well. I'm hoping, because my residency.
But your art is so beautiful. Your photographs, you know. And then, you know, the day that we met, we were at the restaurant.
Comfort Kitchen.
Yes, you do remember.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
I was like, wait, did I?
Because I met you there, but also I think all the portraits of the babies, and then Sadada is a friend of mine.
Oh my gosh.
And a bunch of other people, but yeah.
Thank you so much, babe.
No,
I
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Aw.
And I hope that you are able to, as you're on your journey of reclaiming your family story, even your understanding of your story, that this encourages you, because I'm kind of fumbling forward in like a beautiful way, but I am very honest about my experience of like, I didn't expect an exhibition. I wasn't planning on that. I was just trying to understand my family story, and then this opportunity came in that aligns with it. And I'm always telling people, whether you're a photographer or not, like, document your life.
Yeah. And I'm in that process, but I feel like I've been in it a long